In the headlines, President Buhari promises credible elections. Catholic priest killed by bandits buried as clergy protests rising insecurity. Federal government concessions Onitsha River Port for 4 billion naira targets 23 billion naira revenue in 30 years. And on the foreign scene, Russian missile strikes on Odessa apartments and recreation center kill 18. Hello and welcome to Trust TV News Updates. I am Martia Umar. Thank you for joining us. And now the news in detail. The President of Nigeria, Muhammadu Buhari, has renewed the commitment of his administration to ensuring that the Independent and National Electoral Commission, INEC, delivers peaceful, transparent, free, fair and credible election in 2023. He assured INEC of a free hand, noting that with the conclusion of the primaries of the political parties, all eyes are now on the 2023 elections in Nigeria. President Muhammadu Buhari made the assertion in Lisbon in a meeting with representatives of Nigerians living in Portugal. And according to a statement by his spokesman, Garba Shehu, the president who cited last gubernatorial elections in Anambra and Ekiti states, said his administration has proven consistently its zero tolerance for interference in elections, saying Nigerians will be allowed to vote for the party and candidate of their choice. He, however, cautioned against the use of social media to insult and incite from a safe and anonymous distance. And the Independent National Electoral Commission has said that it has processed 186 requests of certified true copy of documents. The National Commission and the chairman of the Information and Voter Education Committee, Festus Okoye, disclosed this on Thursday at the end of the Commission's management meeting. On the continuation of the continuous voter registration, Okoye said that the exercise will continue nationwide and all resident electoral commissioners and electoral officers have been directed to continue with the exercise pending further directives from the Commission. On the uploading of the list and particulars of nominated candidates, Okoye said that by the timetable and schedule of activities released by the Commission, political parties that conducted valid governorship and state assembly primaries shall upload the list and personal particulars of their nominated candidate between 1st and 15th July 2022. He urged political parties to scrutinize the list and personal particulars of the candidates that propose to sponsor the election to avoid any mix-up and duplication of names. He also urged the parties not to wait until the last day before uploading the list and personal particulars of their candidates. And the President, Muhammadu Buhari, has described Thursday's attack of Shiroro local government area of Niger State as a direct assault on Nigeria. The President said that the attack would not be allowed to go unpunished, adding that the incident would not affect the battle against terrorism as the country is united to get rid of these demons and terrorists whom he further described as parasites. According to a statement by the presidential spokesman, Garba Shehu, he said that the President Buhari paid tribute to the gallant men of the security forces who lost their lives in line of duty. The terrorists in Niger State had killed 15 soldiers and 7 policemen during an ambush. The soldiers belonging to the 45 Battalion Bidda were said to be on a rescue mission when the terrorists, acting on prior information, laid siege on the way. A group of the terrorists had earlier attacked a mining site being managed by Chinese nationals at Ajata Boki and Gurmana ward of Shiroro local government area of the state. 7 mobile policemen guarding the site and some soldiers at a nearby arena community were among those killed. And the body of late Catholic priest Reverend Father Vitus Borogo, who was killed by terrorists, and his family has been laid to rest at the Independent Way Cemetery, Kaduna, northwest Nigeria. Catholic Archbishop of Kaduna, Most Reverend Matthew Ndaguso said at the funeral event that the church was sad to be burying 3 priests killed by terrorists in less than a year. The report.
It is the funeral mass of late Reverend Father Vistus Orogo. Tears flowed freely as hundreds of sympathizers from far and near came to pay their last respects to the Catholic priest who was killed by terrorists on his farm in Kujama, Kaduna State. The homily was that of lamentation over the state of insecurity in Nigeria.
Some people are attacked by bandits and killed on their farm. Vitals died such a death.
Dozens of priests held a procession carrying placards of various inscriptions to express their grievances.
And we know that death is an inevitable thing in our lives. It must happen. It is artificial, and it is not just the first.
The Catholic Archbishop of Kaduna, Most Reverend Matthew Ndaguso, said they have lost their voice from the death of the late priest. He noted that those who do not have what it takes to rule do not have any business with governance.
I dare to say, if anybody is looking for evidence of a failed state, we have one. Even during the Civil War, when we fought a civil war, we never had it this bad. All Nigerians are prisoners in their country. All Nigerians are prisoners in their homes. You can't walk freely on the street. And I would like to say, there are people now angling for positions. If you know you cannot solve Nigerians' problem, don't put yourself.
Late Reverend Father Vistus Orogo was born in 1972 and was killed by terrorists a week ago on his farm.
Now to Labour matters. Following recent media reports that terrorists who kidnapped passengers of the ill-fated Abuja-Kaduna train shot of the hostages and the relative of yet-to-be-released victims in a press briefing on Thursday threatened to commence physical protests along major roads and occupy government facilities in Kaduna and Abuja until their loved ones who are still in captivity are released. The relatives also said that the abductees shot by terrorists need medical attention to survive. The report.
It's been 94 horrific days for the victims of the Abuja-Kaduna train attack, who are still in captivity and subjected to physical and psychological trauma. Recent media reports that one of the abductees has been shot by the terrorist has sent shivers down the spine of the relatives as they fear the same fate might befall others.
We read in the media that one of our abductees was shot by a non-state actor holding our loved ones in captivity. Unfortunately, this abductee is left unattended to. The gunshot wound and may lose his life, which we don't even know the state he is now.
The state of that person that has gone shot wound. No antibiotics. Nobody to remove the bullets from his body. Just imagine the current situation he will be in the bush.
Despite earlier protests by the relatives and negotiations between government and the terrorists, only 11 out of the 62 kidnapped passengers have been released. Hence, they are resolved to stage a protest.
For those of us in Kaduna, in Kaduna, Abuja, the activity will start on Tuesday. We are going to have physical protests along Major Road in Kaduna. We plan to occupy some key government facilities. We are going to have sitting in those facilities. We plan to sit there till our loved ones are out.
By Tuesday next week, when the relatives plan to stage their protest, it would have been 100 days since terrorists bombed the Abuja-Kaduna train, killing at least 9 persons and abducting over 60 people.
Now, the organized labor movement is planning to hold a protest on the state of the nation. The protest is to call the attention of the government to some issues or security issues bedeviling the country, and also the lingering strike by Academic Union of Universities and on ending energy crisis. Speaking at the two separate conferences in Abuja, the president of the Nigerian Labour Congress, Ayuba Waba, and the president of the National Union of Local Government Employees, Mbali Olatunji, decried the worsening security situation in the country and asked the government to act. The Labour leaders also discussed other issues, including the ongoing constitution amendment, especially the aspect that touches on the autonomy of the local government and the judiciary.
Children of the poor have remained at home. Today, as we speak, diesel is selling for more than 800 naira per litre. There is no way this situation can be allowed to continue. So I think there is an urgency in addressing this issue. And therefore, Central Working Committee decided that there will be a one-day national protest to call the attention of government to resolve this issue immediately.
And despite spending 3.4 billion naira on primary education in 2 years and another 6 billion naira for post-primary schools and the 2022 budget, secondary school students in Taraba State are protesting decayed infrastructure in some government schools. This protest, specifically by hundreds of students of Salihu Dogo Secondary School, was spurred by lack of learning materials, science laboratory equipment, and the science practicals, as well as the dilapidated state of classrooms. Take a look.
Wednesday, 15th of June 2022 began just like any other day for the teachers and students of Salihu Dogo Government Day Secondary School in Taraba State. But the day did not end as it started, as students of the school decided to say enough is enough to the horrible learning conditions they are subjected to. The students staged a peaceful protest to express dissatisfaction with the dilapidated school infrastructure, overcrowded classrooms, and unequipped laboratory for science students. Trust TV learns that Salihu Dogo Secondary School has over 1,000 students with 100 to 150 students clubbed in one classroom. Presently, 266 students are already sitting for the senior secondary school examinations with no adequate preparations to guarantee success. The situation is what the students were determined to change through the strike action. The identities of the students who spoke to Trust TV were shielded to protect them from being victimized.
We decided to do it on our own because, unfortunately, if you are to look at our school environment, you will feel a big pity for us, the students, where the ceilings are being destroyed. Nothing seems to be working good for us in the school. We don't have library, and then we have library prefects. What's the use of being a library prefect without having library in the school? We have kitchen prefects, but there's no food, nothing. Some of the students do sit on the floor to attend to lessons, lectures. Some bring mat from their house to lay it on the class, sit and receive lectures. So all these things will work out if the government or the school authority won't provide furniture or seats for the students to sit and receive their lectures.
Actually, what's happened, it was the students that embarked on a protest about the lack of desks in the school.
However, despite picture evidence by journalists who paid a visit to the school in the States, the government denied, claiming that the school was well equipped with adequate learning materials.
Sitting on the floor, hanging by the windows, first and foremost, I went to the principal's office. After some interaction with the principal, I directed her to organize the students for me on the assembly ground, which I met with the students and the staff on the assembly ground. I addressed the assembly of more than 40 minutes. I addressed them seriously, and then also gave them some counseling tips.
It is no longer news that schools face the challenge of inadequate learning facilities, despite huge resources governments both at state and national level claim to inject into the education sector in the country. This is evident in the yearly budgetary allocations for improving learning conditions in school and employment of qualified and adequate teachers.
You're still watching Trust TV News Update. Coming up after the break, we'll take a look at how residents are groaning as scarcity hits parts of the Federal Capital Territory. These and many more stories shortly. To stay with us.
Don't allow yourself to be kidnapped, because
it happened to many families. Nothing yielded.
Bandits beating me. At the time, I felt as if my shoulder was not on me.
We did nothing wrong.
Ya ce min mama akwai baki a garin nan.
Waɗannan mutanen barayi ne, su ‘yan kidnapping ne.
It is the way of life of the Fulani that is changing.
I thought we will not come back. I suffer a lot. I am a sickle cell. How we suffer, I thought we are going to die here.
Kidnapping is just an extension of cattle rustling.
Welcome back. This is Trust TV News Update, and we'll take our top stories again. We told you that President Buhari promises credible elections. And the Catholic priest killed by bandits buried as clergy protest rising insecurity. And moving on to other news, the women's wing of the All Progressives Congress, APC, has provided free medical services to over 5,000 women and children, including internally displaced persons, in Zamfara State, with a view to improving healthcare in the state. The APC National Women Leader Betta Edu said the medical outreach was initiated to address the plight of women in the country. The report. I will bring you that report in our subsequent bulletin, but the residents in Dutse Sokale community in Bwari Area Council of the Federal Capital Territory are groaning from the effect of water scarcity in the community, which they say has made life difficult for them. The residents say that the community, which depends on potable water from the FCT Water Board, has been out or cut off rather from access to potable water for over a week. Trust TV's Sagir Ibrahim visited the community and now reports.
Water, an indispensable necessity of life. Unfortunately, these residents have to find alternative means of getting water as the scarcity bites harder.
My house is somewhere around there. I don't know if you can see that. And I have to walk all the way down, to the borehole, down these axis. Every day. I mean, before I can be able to use water and go to work. If I don't do this routine every morning, I can't get to work. I can't do almost anything at all.
This is Sokale in Dutse Alaje, a community just 15 minutes away from Lower Usuma Dam in Bwari Area Council and the city's water source. Residents say they've not had water for more than 7 days and are struggling to find alternative sources as the community depends on the FCT Water Board for potable water.
For the past 1 week now, we've been out of water. And even before now, they do come and go. We still like 2 days without water, then maybe 1 day it will come. But this one has been the longest I've experienced. Guys, the 6 of it, 600. As one truck,
okay, 100 naira. 100 naira.
A truck of it.
The truck is 1,200, 12 robbers.
Okay, 1,200. That is 6,600.
They also decried the hike in water price by vendors who have taken advantage of the scarcity.
Before it's 30 naira for a jerry can now. But because it's scarcity, that's why it's already. When there is 1,000 to go,
They say that although they had approached the water board to complain, not much was done to remedy their plight.
The reason is because it says some parts, some people living in the community are not paying water board. The water board now says some people adjusted their meter. So what water board will have done simply go to the people or to the compound that you think they adjusted their meter and disconnected them. Not using one person's mistake to affect everybody.
Not once, not twice now. So how do we get this information? It's from the water board. If you go to the office, they say no, they are not in charge of that. This one is other from the above, this and that and that and that. That the town, people in the town are complaining that they don't have water, so they have to cut here that the lower hand. So that is it. We the poor masses here living in this area, we're the ones suffering it.
With inflation of food prices, poor electricity supply, bad roads, and even insecurity, residents lamented that the water scarcity has made living in the nation's capital city more difficult and called for quick government intervention to avert the water crisis. Sagir Ibrahim reporting for Trust TV.
And the women's wing of the All Progressives Congress, APC, has provided women and children, including internally displaced persons, IDP in Zamfara State, with a view with medical health care in the view to providing health care in the state. The APC national women leader, Betta Edu, said that the medical outreach was initiated to address the plight of women in the country. The report.
Accessing good healthcare services at rural communities in Zamfara State, northwest Nigeria, is a big deal to residents. This is due to the activities of bandits, which have made health personnel to decline working in the rural communities for fear of being attacked, killed, or kidnapped by violent criminals. This anomaly is why the free medical services organized by women and children in the state by National Women's Wing of the All Progressives Congress, APC, is significant to victims of banditry and rural poor women, as it will boost their health. The APC National Women Leader, Dr. Betta Edu, said the Women's Wing of the APC is determined to ensure the welfare of women, especially in the areas where their humanitarian crisis and underserved population is taken care of. She disclosed that the team has identified many medical and surgical cases, adding that the medical team is ready to provide those with surgical cases free operations.
Under the APC National Women's Wing, we're committed to seeing that the welfare of APC women are catered for, especially in areas where they have crisis, in areas where they have humanitarian challenges, in areas where they are underserved. Zamfara is the flag for us. Here we are seeing, at least we so far have seen close to 1,000 persons present here, and we will still continue to see as many that come forward for health care. There are a lot of cases here. Some of them are surgical, some of them are medical, and we have over 10 doctors, consultants on ground to support us to attend to these patients.
The Chief Medical Director of Yarima Bakura Specialist Hospital, Gusau, speaks on the level of collaboration and how Specialist Hospital has been handling victims of bandits' attack in Zamfara State.
It also serves as a referral center whereby all the cases from the general hospital and other peripheral hospitals are being referred to the Yarima Bakura Hospital, especially the cases that cannot be managed at this primary or secondary centers. So this is all about the tertiary hospital. This is all about the Ahmed Said Yarima Bakura Special Hospital. And as I'm telling you now, the hospital is bragging with. The hospital has about 18 consultants and other specialists.
The over 5,000 beneficiaries of the free medical services in Zamfara State will go back home, not only with drugs, but also with financial support to cushion the effect of insecurity on them.
And away from Zamfara State, the district head of Ongwamba and Gigi community in Bauchi Metropolis, Ibrahim Bono, has condemned the indiscriminate dumping of refuse between parts of the metropolis. And This was confirmed in a statement which was handed over in the community. The community for awareness on the dangers of dumping refuse on major highways was conducted, but Adamu Imam completes the story.
The district head, who frowned at some members of the community who are not ready to comply with government directives against dumping refuse within the metropolis, warned them to desist forthwith or face the wrath of the law.
It's very unfortunate. The people of Awala community have disappointed me, and definitely the action that the Basepa is going to be taken to them definitely is correct, and I am supporting it. I would not like my place to be exempted, or to be one of the dirtiest area in Bauchi town. So I'm very, very happy that Basay have come and see it, saw it here, and then they will take action very seriously to curtail, to prevent, and then stop all this act of inhealth in my community.
Leader of Awala Junction area, Muhammad Abdullahi, called for the provision of waste disposal bins to enable the community handle waste appropriately. I complained to the officials that we have a challenge with proper dumping of refuse because the drum we kept for refuse collection was stolen. So I'm appealing that Basepa should help us by providing a proper waste disposal bin here at Awala Junction, because thieves will not allow the drum we used to stay. At the awareness campaign rally around the Bauchi metropolis, the Environmental Protection Agency again warned against indiscriminate dumping of refuse, saying that those cuts will be dealt with accordingly.
And now to the international scene. A missile strike killed 18 people and wounded dozens in Ukraine's Odessa region on Friday, a day after Russian troops abandoned positions on the strategic island in a major setback at the Kremlin's invasion. The missiles hit an apartment building and recreation center about 80 kilometers south of the Black Sea port of Odessa, which has become a strategic flag point for conflict. And with that, we have come to the end of the news update at this hour. For more, you can visit our social media platforms. I am Martia Umar. Thank you for watching and stay tuned.